What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla stock very briefly and talk about Elon Musk in a lot more details. We have some important tweets that came out from him. But please note that I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total, not to mention an 8.1% APY on uninvested cash. This offer ends very soon, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, for Tesla, I just wanted to mention that we have this double top leg structure rejecting off this resistance near 235 for Tesla. And currently, we look a little bit more bearish as we're trying to fill this imbalance down towards that 208 area. But whether or not we bounce off that structure to reclaim this yellow trend line or not depends on many different factors. We have the CPI report coming out for next week and FOMC, not to mention big catalyst for Tesla as the news is very effective. So the news is very, very important for Tesla. It impacts the share price like every single day almost. So that's why you want to be paying attention to it. But as of right now, Tesla looks a little bit more bearish and there could be a little bit more downside coming. So that's it for my analysis for now, at least on the share price. I will go into more details tomorrow. For now, I just want to focus on Elon Musk and talk about some things he's been saying. So, one thing worth remembering is that Elon Musk gets very, very political on his Twitter page. I honestly just want to avoid politics. So I'm just going to focus on his unbiased tweets involving Tesla. I don't want to get political about anything. I just want to focus on what he's been saying. The reason for that is because Musk is the CEO of Tesla, and his views, opinions, and beliefs could affect the share price and what Tesla's vision is and the moves they end up making. So that's why it's very important to look at what he has to say. So Musk has been basically responding to Tesla's very important tweet about the current expected self-driving timelines. This is very, very important. So we actually have that right over here. Musk also responds to something else involving that. I'll talk about that in just a second. So this is the tweet right over here from Tesla AI. Basically, it says that due to popular demand, Tesla's AI team is releasing the roadmap for September 2024. We're looking for new developments for their overall systems, and we're going to be looking for a 3 times improved miles between intervention that's going to be coming out. So that's very important. Basically, you're going to be able to drive your Tesla for longer with less interventions during the next updates. And we're going to be looking for new developments for the AI 3 and 4 components. On top of this is going to be a potential auto park function for the Cybertruck coming out, which is very cool. And then eye tracking with sunglasses, that's cool as well, with Cybertruck FSD to be announced very soon as well. On top of this, for October 2024, next month, they have the Unpark Park in reverse in FSD, not to mention a 6x improvement in miles between necessary interventions during the next update for version 13. On top of this, we also have the Robotaxi event for October, so that's going to be very huge. Now, this is actually something that's in a work in progress, basically. For Q1 of 2025, Tesla's saying that they have FSD in Europe pending regulatory approval, not to mention FSD in China also pending regulatory approval. Now, the thing about that is that that's still yet to be determined because Musk actually said that hopefully right-hand drive markets in late Q1 or early Q2 pending regulatory approval. So this is very important because when you think about it, this isn't like a fixated date for sure. We don't know for sure when this is going to be approved, but Tesla's aiming for Q1 to be the date in which they expand FSD to Europe and China. Musk is also saying hopefully by early Q2, possibly if it takes a little bit longer, but most likely by late Q1. That's what Musk is basically saying. So we want to kind of specify in the details of this. The media kind of reported this as Q1 will be the time they announce this, but that's just a possibility depending on these regulations. So we'll see how the date goes. Musk did give us more details about that. Ron Barron is someone who I respect. So does Elon Musk and the Tesla team. He's been talking about in a lot of these videos, especially back in 2014, about how Tesla has the potential to expand to the millions in their overall production deliveries, if not to over 10 million deliveries per year. So that's some very, very important. That's a very important amount of projections that he had, and as you guys can see, it's been like a decade since he said that. His prediction about Tesla reaching 1 million deliveries per year was correct. Tesla is hitting numbers close to that. They're going to eventually surpass that. And as time goes on, I think that's a very, very great outlook for his predictions, and just goes to show how he has been making correct predictions in the past about Tesla. So it makes me take his predictions more seriously. I think that he does a great job at analyzing Tesla's growth and their AI capabilities and different factors just like that. On top of this, I just want to mention something else. I'm going to talk about this tweet first. Musk also said in 2020 that all cars produced by 2040 will be electric and fully autonomous. That's very important. Musk responded and said that's an easy prediction. All is a strong word, but 99% is probably right. So that's very important. I think that he is correct that there's going to be a massive explosion in EV cars and fully autonomous vehicles. I don't know for sure if every car produced will be electric by then. We don't know for sure. Who knows what's going to happen? But I still agree with his points that the large majority of cars are going to be EVs, and we're going to be looking for a massive expansion in Tesla's EV sector, in the EV market as a whole, and autonomous driving. So, yes, I do agree with his points that there's going to be a massive expansion coming, a big revolution over the next couple of decades. And I think that I can't say all of them are going to be EVs by then. I can't say it for sure, but if anything, I think the point is still correct that we're easily going to see a big expansion in that market. And just like that, your car can navigate a busy parking lot without you in it. That's what is coming on for the next update for Tesla. This has been tested in a Costco and they did relatively well. So Tesla's working on its self parking technology. I think it's very cool that they're doing this. Musk has been retweeting about this. Awesome stuff, in my opinion, for many people that need help with parking and such. I saw this wrap of the Cybertruck. It's pretty cool. Musk even says it's one of the best wraps he's seen. I agree. It looks very, very awesome. The Cybertruck is getting a lot of attention for this. There's a lot of customizable features for it. And I can't wait to see what else Tesla comes up with moving forward. Besides that, Musk was also talking about something else. He said that the Model S Plaid, its speed, basically, it's absolutely insane, going from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2 seconds, despite being a four-door sedan with a large trunk. So it's very, very cool to see that. I think that him and Joe Rogan were talking about this on a podcast before, so good for them. I think that Tesla's developments are just very, very incredible. I can't wait to see what else the future holds for them. On top of this, Musk also talked about this. So the Robotaxi has basically arrived, and there's been a lot of talk about how the Teslas are able to drive themselves, park, and they're still improving that technology. I think that as time goes on, this is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar catalyst for Tesla. Kathy Wood is obviously one of the people that's had a lot of praise from Elon Musk about her projections for how they're going to develop this technology. But the thing I want to note is that even with the Robotaxi event, I can't say that Tesla will rally really hard for the rest of the year. I think that it may take a while to really see the market run for Tesla to really improve with the recessionary views that people have. I think we could be seeing a recession in early next year. So things could still be complicated for Tesla as we hit consolidation phases. I think there's going to be a lot of moments where Tesla sees these big runs, these dips, and it's going to continue like this for quite some time until we get to the next phase for Tesla's growth phase for a massive run. But in my opinion, it's better to be early than late. Once this thing starts running, everyone's going to start FOMOing back into the stock. It doesn't make sense to FOMO too late. Instead, it's better to be the early bird that gets the worm because as far as Tesla goes, who knows when the next growth phase is going to be? It could be as soon as early next year when we really start running. Could be a little bit later into next year. Who knows? But either way, guys, there's so much bullish potential for this. When you look at the daily charts, Tesla's been on a downtrend. Yes, from a technical standpoint, we're making lower lows and lower highs. We're not making all lower lows. We actually have a higher low that's been established right here, but we're also making lower highs compared to before. So until Tesla really starts to break out of the 300s, we're going to be looking for a much bigger run. We haven't broken out of the 300s yet, but like I said before, what is promising about this setup is the fact that we have a giant inverse head and shoulders that's forming. So maybe Tesla does see some consolidation with the Robotaxi events. Then later on, by next year, we start to see a much bigger rally to all-time highs. So I think it's possible we break all-time highs next year, but it may take a little bit of time to get there. It may take many months into the year. And for the short term, if you look at the way Tesla's moving, I think that we're going to maintain this consolidation as Tesla's been stuck within this range for pretty much the last 1.5 years. Tesla's been range bound between 300 and like 150. So I think we're going to likely maintain this range for some time, for many months to come before we see a much bigger run. But remember, these price targets, these price levels are very, very good buy zones for the long term. If Tesla does dip into like the 140s, 150s, 170s, those are all buy levels. Even if you buy in the 200s for the long term, you're going to be fine because I still see Tesla running to the thousands as the years go on. I still hold that view, guys. My view has not changed, and I'm still very bullish as a Tesla investor for the long term. So I hope that's very, very clear to everyone. Musk's obsession and his views on FSD have not changed with robots and the developments that Tesla is working on. And it makes me very, very proud to be a Tesla investor. I think the long term is very bright for the company, For the short term, there may be turmoil with the recessionary fears and all the things that go on for the markets, but the long term is still very bright, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. So I'm a big Tesla bull for the long term. 2025, 2026 should be great years for them. We may start off 2025 on a very, very interesting trend, depending on the recession and factors like that. But I still hold the view that we're going to be looking for some strong ends to 2025, 2026, and beyond. And there's going to be some massive, massive upside coming. For the short term, yes, Tesla is still range bound, and I think we're going to maintain this range. But I'm still a big Tesla bull for the long term, and I'm still very excited. My money's not going anywhere. I could wait, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. So, with that being said, Elon Musk has given his views. He's a big Tesla bull as well for the long term. He mentioned that Tesla could become one of the most valuable companies on the planet, and I agree with him for the long term. And then for the short term, I can't wait for the Robotaxi event in about a month from now. So it's going to be another big catalyst. Until all of that comes out, this is your update from Elon Musk. Most of his tweets are very political, but I try to just bring out his Tesla related tweets from the past week. So I'm very happy that he still talks about Tesla and that he's very committed to these massive projects. And I can't wait to see what happens for the next couple of weeks. So don't worry, guys, about what happens. If we are range bound for some time, it's going to be okay. The long term is very bright, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. I thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys very soon in the next one. And peace out.